It's Denise with Milwaukee Cuddles, and I'm going to talk a bit today about why clients come to see me for cuddle sessions. And really does kind of run the gamut. Lots of reasons that people may come book a session with me. Very common reason is a person just isn't getting the touch they need in their life. They don't currently have a partner. They're a really cuddly person, and friends, family. You have the handshakes, a quick hug, but that's really not enough to provide the type of touch that they need in their life to feel good and for good self-care. So they'll visit me for a cuddle session. And these clients I may have for a few sessions, may last a few months, even a year or two. Oftentimes, though, they'll start to date again, maybe end up in a relationship, and then the sessions will stop. If they're getting their cuddle needs met by their partner, then would make sense. Of course, they'll stop coming to see a professional cuddler. But there are times when we may find ourselves in a relationship and not all of our needs match up perfectly. We have a person who loves to cuddle, needs a lot of that. And then we have someone who's really not a touchy feely person and needs very little touch in their life. And when those two people come together, of course, there's compromise and maybe they'll find a good middle ground. But also, another option is to say, I don't need all of my needs to be met completely by this other person, especially if it really doesn't work for them and it moves them kind of out of their comfort zone. And so in those instances, I do have clients who will continue to see me, and it's actually helpful to their relationship to have another outlet to just get more touch in their life beyond what they may receive with their partner. Other clients will come to me maybe because they're going through a difficult time. Maybe they lost someone in their life, unfortunately, or they have a very heavy workload and their stress level's really high, or maybe something more chronic like anxiety or depression, and they're dealing with those issues. And cuddle self-care can be a great way to really help get through those times. So what they're going to find is that therapeutic touch is a way to help them to improve their kind of overall well-being and to feel cared for. We all need to have someone there to listen. A big part of what I do, it's not really just the touch part, it's really being present. We're going to have an hour, hour and a half, whatever the time is booked, and I'm there to listen, to be fully present, and then, of course, to touch based upon what my client's needs are that fall within, boundaries and that are platonic. And so it can be very helpful with things like anxiety and depression to manage that. And sometimes it's working maybe in concert with a therapist. We can have goals that we set for that. Or it might just be that, therapists can work through things emotionally, intellectually, but of course, the touch part, they're not able to do. That's something that I can do. And so I can supplement that therapy in that way. Other reasons clients may come see me, and it might even be something that's recommended by a therapist, is let's say there's a history of trauma with touch. And they'll work through that with their therapist again through talk therapy, but they can't practice touch. They can't get comfortable physically with touch with a therapist, but they can with me. And oftentimes those sessions will involve almost no touch to begin with. It's really about establishing trust and comfort, and then very slowly introducing touch, and then increasing what that touch may look like based upon their pace, making sure that they feel safe, that they are in an environment where they can start to learn that touch can be comforting, touch can be joyful, and that they can experience that in their body again. And so those are sessions that I can do. People come to me to work on maybe specific communication or touching skills. So an example of that could be if a person, maybe as a young adult, focused very heavily on their academics, and then as an older adult on their career, and just really put relationships to the side and didn't focus on that, and then realized, I want a partner, I want to get out there, but I kind of feel like I didn't have that time to learn these things and get comfortable with that type of approaching people and, initiating touch and, how do I do that? And cuddle session is a great place to practice that. Get comfortable with touch yourself, but also let's practice, how do I initially, ask for, that first kiss? How do I hold somebody's hand? How do I become comfortable in those types of situations? And it's a good place to practice that. Another good example is I had a client actually that came to me who was a Catholic priest and came to me for touch needs because, obviously did not have a partner, was celibate, but did have definite needs. It was a cuddly person, and so cuddle sessions and cuddling was part of that. But a big reason that he came to me is that in counseling with people who are going through difficult times, he wanted to provide appropriate touch and really kind of just get comfortable with, how do I offer that? What is a comfortable way if I recognize, in this situation, I think, you know, holding their hand or providing a hug could be comforting, but I don't want it to feel awkward when I do it. And I want to make sure it's welcomed and make sure it is, comforting and helpful to them. And so practicing skills like that. Um, and so there's a lot of different reasons that people come for cuddling sessions, and that's certainly not all of them, but that gives you a good idea of some of the reasons a person may come to me. And again, it may be for 1 or 2 sessions, it may be for a few months. I have some clients who have seen me for years, and it's just part of their self care regimen, much like, exercise, going for walks, or getting massages. It's just part of what they do to take care of themselves. If you want to learn more about cuddling, about different services that are provided, different therapeutic touch services, go to MilwaukeeCuddles.com. And of course, you can always email me at MilwaukeeCuddles@gmail.com. I hope you have a great day, and I wish you many cuddles.